Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the PhDyer vlog. It's been a little crazy trying to get back to normal from cruise mode to now, so trying to get back on track. All the yarn is dyed for everything that I had to get caught up with except for mini mysteries, which Sammy put off a few days because we have to meet right when she gets back, which I think she's getting back today, so I'm driving there tomorrow to drop them off. So then everything will be caught up until I have to put out the pre-orders for VKL on March 10th. So I'm feeling good today. I felt like I should take the opportunity and film. I also have some things to do for my teaching that I'll show you that I've started. I just want to take a minute to welcome everybody that's new. I can't thank you enough for your support from everybody, whether you've been here from the beginning. I mean, especially thank you. And if you've just signed up, like, it's been a very hard few months to get through, and especially like not just emotionally but financially. So having your help has been really amazing to help me get through, especially with the business, and to help that get through. So I just want to show you what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing my sheer VT by Jessie May. This is in our Mother of Pearl colorway. It's going to be coming back soon. I just opened up the Boardwalks and Beaches collection. People are starting to kind of go towards those colors as they start to knit for spring and summer. Some people are still quite stuck on the wintry theme, so right now is an odd time in the shop where if I'm in the dye studio, I could be dyeing like Melted Snowman or Mermaid Lagoon in the same day, which I really like. I feel like it lets me be creative, and it never gets boring. Like, you're never dyeing the same color 50,000 times. It's always like a variety in the dye pot, which I really like. That's why we stayed dyed to order. I am drinking out of my little Woolly Women Fibers mug. We are looking at getting new mugs. These were really, really expensive, like ceramic. It's quite a heavy mug. And it just honestly costs a fortune to ship. We barely make a profit off of it, but I really wanted to get our logo out there, and I really wanted to have mugs. And I thought, as a small business, like, you don't learn these things until later, but I love the mugs and I've gotten really good feedback. Of course, you can't dishwash them. This will melt. You have to hand wash only. But aside from that, it's a really heavy, sturdy, nice sized campfire mug. But I think what we're gonna do is switch to a different campfire mug that I've found that's a little bit lighter. So I love these. I might be reordering these each winter, I'm not sure. But for the summer, I'm gonna come up with a new thing that I might do. So keep an eye out for those. I'm not sure how it's gonna go yet, but we'll see. I'm just having a cup of coffee. I had tea this morning, and me and Jarrett watched like the Weather Channel. He's like a weather enthusiast. He loves weather. So he comes in and he's like, "Do you want to watch the Weather Channel with me?" And I was like, "Of course." So we watched the Weather Channel this morning and had some coffee. And usually I take that time just to like write down what I have to dye for the day, prepare for the day. I think things here in the near future, like the next couple months, might get quite better. Right now the garage is not usable because he had his really good friends who are like family to him have stuff in there while they renovate their home. And then I came into the picture, so obviously I need a larger space to dye, and so we're hoping to move into the garage after they get their stuff put together and their home put together close to May, I think, which is a little ways away, but if you think about it, it's really not that long. It's a couple months. But for now, I have to podcast wherever I can. And for today, sometimes it's in the bedroom, and now today it's in the kitchen. So normally, if you look back on the videos, I had yarn in the background. I could do that upstairs, but right now it's very cramped because I've put those shelves of yarn like in the guest room. So I was just feeling like I could have coffee and do it in here instead. Because I'm going to be teaching, and I think I need to find a really good space to set that up. So this might be up against like that wall where you can't see the kitchen. There's like a wall back here. So yeah, so welcome to my kitchen. So we put out a new collection. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that from my perspective. Things sort of evolve as I die. If you've been here a while, you probably know that. I guess I'll start with Unicorn. So I'll tell you, like, the whole inspiration behind it was like me and Sammy. Like, Sammy originally came up with mythical creatures like a little while ago. We were gonna do this whole collection on like dragons and fairies and take like this really like mythical, colorful approach to it. We sidetracked and did, I forget which collection, oh, the moon collection. So we had usually like a couple things laid out. Every now and then we have like these brainstorming days and we come up with like quite a few ideas. And so we had a few, and the moon collection was one of them on the list with the mythical creatures. And so basically it just, I guess we felt more inspired by the moon collection at the moment. So we went with that instead of mythical creatures, and it stayed on the back burner. Well, Sammy's looking for a new home. I am just starting a whole new life in a new home with a brand new partner, and it's sort of like a fairy tale in some aspects. I mean, it's very like sad the way things led up, but I believe everybody ends up somewhere for a reason. So my divorce had finalized and everything had come to a close in my past, and so I felt like it's sort of like a fairy tale because I've just been really happy the last couple months. Like, I've been feeling better. I used to get like severe night sweats and like just the anxiety of the situation I was in because of how bad things were going in my previous marriage, and about the alcohol abuse with John, and like all the, I don't know, things just became super like bad. I mean, there were good times, don't get me wrong, but I was living in I have bad anxiety, and like I could not seem to get myself right because of the environment I was in. So these past 4 months I've just been feeling so happy, and actually it'll be 5 months coming up here in March, and I just feel like my fairy tale has begun. And now Sammy is looking for a home. She's actually looking to buy, and her partner Tony, he got a great job in Florida, and they're sort of moving and doing what they dreamed of doing, and that's like a fairy tale. So Sammy was like, why don't we do fairy tale? It'll be like these beautiful brights for spring moving into summer. It'll be a collection we can sort of keep out while the brights are popular, or we may keep it on permanently. I'm not sure. We sometimes decide that later. So we opened this up for VKL. You'll see some of the pictures on them that sort of inspired the colors. First is Unicorn. So I'm showing you them all on a DK base, but you know how we do like all the 10 plus bases. You can get them on anything you want. So Unicorn's a little bit interesting because it didn't start out as anything like what it looks like. I had envisioned like doing our oxidizing procedure where I make it a stark white, and then doing splotches of unicorn tail colors, which would be like rainbow sort of colors. But then I I was a little worried because I feel like so many dyers have the white with the rainbow in it, and I was struggling to find a way to represent the rainbow with the unicorn white in a different manner than other people have done it, and I thought I need to do something, I need to go off that palette completely and figure this out. And Sammy sent me this gorgeous picture of like a really like storybook looking unicorn. It was like something out of like fantasy, and it had like this gorgeous light pastel neon purple hue with some blues mixed throughout. So I did exactly that. I poured on some really light purples with blue as the base, and then I went back in and I took speckles, darker pink speckles, darker blue, darker purple, and I overlaid with like splotches of speckles, which I really love. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. And when I look at it, I just think unicorn. So I really love it. I'm wanting to do a sweater in this like a whole lot. Even this one, like the sweater I'm wearing, would be really nice. But I really want to knit something new. I'm loving my striped sweater. I'll show you that in a minute. But I'm just thinking of like what I want to do, and I haven't found a pattern that I'm really in love with. I know I really want like a little shirt to wear for maybe like spring and summer, but I haven't found something. If anybody has suggestions, let me know. This is Storybook Endings. So the one that inspired this, the photo has like a princess. She's obviously in like a pink flowing gown. She's got blonde hair, the typical princess that they always do. And the sky blue with there was like beautiful green grass she was standing on with flowers here and there. And so I dyed this like I would if anybody saw like Vintage Toy Shop or something like that. It comes out like mock micro striping if you do socks or small circumference type knitting. This might pull a little more if you try to do something larger like a sweater, or you could just alternate skeins and that would solve that problem. But for socks it would be fantastic. It's called Storybook Endings, and that mossy green is like gorgeous up against this palette. And I like the use of like, so this is like I called it princess pink, but we also have the neons in here. So it was a really good use of like muted tones with neons, which I like to play with. And then we have Fairy Dust. So I didn't really use like a photo for this. I just pictured fairy dust with like pinks and purples and I ran with it. So I used that same princess pink, and then I went in and I put these like bright neon pink speckles and purple. And so this kind of plays on that muted pink with the neons, which I like. And so throughout the collection I tried to think of how to make it cohesive. So a lot of these skeins will sort of go together or pull out colors that are in the last one. Unicorn and this one are great together. And then I brought out like super neon colors. So this is the Fairy Tale colorway. It's a super bright hot pink. This took like, I mixed 5 different pinks, one of them being a fluorescent pink, and that fluorescence mixes with the other even if they're normal tones of pink, and it makes it fluorescent. So I really wanted this to be like super saturated, so I overlaid it with quite a few colors. But again, like we're going for that like cohesive, so mixing the muted tones with the neons. And so these 2 colors are in here one way or another, you can see. And these 2. And then I really wanted to bring in, so Fairy Tale obviously has a lot of greenery. There's always like flowers and like meadows and ivy. And then I think of like the forest, because there's always like a forest in most stories, most storybooks. And so we came up with Forest Fairy. Sammy's charm for this is pretty epic. She actually has like wings and curly hair. It's so awesome. But I took this chartreuse type green. I mixed it with, it has a play on like darker greens in there. And then I went over top and I put this like light and dark blue speckles. And then the collection was done and I thought like, it's done. But then I looked at them as a whole and I was a little disappointed with the Forest Fairy. Sticks out like a sore thumb. Even though cohesively they all look like storybook fairy tale-ish, there's like nothing to pair the green with. I mean, I personally like these two together if you're doing like super high contrast, but I really wasn't crazy about it. This has like that little bit of green in it, but again, like I wasn't crazy about it. So I thought I need like that beautiful storybook blue in there. So I brought that out in a tonal and I made a beautiful blue that will go with quite a few of these, whether it's the pink and purples or the green. So those together, and then of course you can bring the pink and purple in here. This has green in it, it's got the blue in it, and that makes a really nice, sorry I'm trying to not cover my mouth. That makes a really nice 3-skein kit. If you're doing like a fade, you could fade from blue to green and blue to blue, green, and pink. And I think that's awesome. If you want high contrast, just a beautiful, colorful shawl for those three. So I thought more cohesively, and even like unicorn, because that has blue in it. So I thought to make it more cohesive, we added the blue, which I'm really happy with now. And then we made a special colorway for the Do You Knit trunk show. We ended up making out pretty good there. She didn't go live. I'm not sure how or why, because she had said we were going to go live, but then I think the day just got away from us and we were very busy. A lot of customers came in. I really got to converse with a lot of people. I met some new people, which was amazing. And so the day kind of got away from us, but honestly, we made out pretty good for not going live, and for just, we were just grateful to honestly be in the shop and to do all that. So Pam, thank you so much for visiting. Like, we were so excited to see you. You drove so far, just about as far as I did to get there, and you bought goodies, and it was really sweet of you to support. And just honestly, had you just come and had some coffee, we would have been so excited to see you, because I just think it's awesome how like we've become so close. Like I've talked to you about things. I mean, we've talked just as friends, and I think that's amazing. So thank you for coming and thank you for supporting. I really still want to get together for lunch, because I'm not that far now, I don't think. I mean, and I can drive an hour or so. So we did make a colorway. We just kind of wanted to introduce it at the trunk show and make it like an exclusive thing there for the day. But Euphoric, it's spelled E-W-E. It's probably backwards on the camera, sorry. Euphoric, E-W-E, Euphoric, super cute. And it is a gorgeous mix of neon pinks with a dash of like light purple in there. And this is on a boucle base. I don't have it on anything else right now. If you did want it on something, you could certainly request it. Oh, here's that purple so you can see it. See that purple there? So there's like little bits of purple here and there. But really like this. I was thinking about like mixing these two. I've talked about that a couple times here and there. I want to mix these and I want to make something. It's screaming either shawl to me or sweater. My only problem is it'll be so heavy of a sweater for the upcoming weather, like spring and summer, which doesn't make sense to make right now. But I'm feeling like I'm fighting against that, and I just want to do it just to do it and not worry about what weather it'll be finished in. I can always wear it, you know, different time. And it gets chilly here. Like, it gets chilly, you know, if we go to the boardwalk. It gets chilly by the ocean if I visit my family. So, like, bright pink is summery, and I feel like I could still make it work. So I'm looking for like a shawl or a sweater. I haven't decided, and I'm still kind of torn on which colors to do. I just really like quite a few of them. Okay, so if you just joined, you might not know, or maybe you did because you might have watched the last vlog. We went on a cruise. It was my first real like long vacation. I went for a weekend vacation in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, like when I first started the business that first year. But aside from that, I haven't vacationed. So this was my first one, and it was kind of interesting to see how it was going to go with things being on pre-order or whatever. And it went really smoothly. I had a couple people reach out confused. They didn't see. Sometimes you can put as many prompts as you want on the website. I even put a checkbox at the end when you check out, and people just are so excited about whatever they're trying to work out for their project or the colors. They don't see it, or they don't take the time to read or realize. So I had like 3 people reach out and say like, you know, I haven't received my package. So I handled that. I had Wi-Fi on the ship. So they were very sweet. I was like, we're on vacation, we're shipping out later, and it worked out really, really well. People are usually very nice, so sometimes you get not so nice people, but most people are nice. But I wanted to show you, which I didn't get to show you in the last video, we wanted to start like a Christmas tree, and we got some things from the places that we visited. So this was from St. Thomas. It's a little Christmas ornament. And by the time we had gotten this idea, we did go to quite a few islands that we didn't get Christmas ornaments for, but I really love this one. St. Thomas is like one of my favorites. We did get it from 2 of our favorite islands. So this was St. Kitts. The butterflies. They used to have a butterfly sanctuary there. I think it was it was St. Martin that had a butterfly sanctuary. And I think it got destroyed by the storms they got hit by a couple of years ago, which was super sad. Overall, we had a fantastic time. It was a little like of a learning experience for Jarrett and I. He comes from like not a large family. His family, he had gotten separated from younger, and he went in with his foster dad, who he still keeps in contact with today. He's like best friends with him. But I don't think he was used to being around like a huge family. So it's a little bit, I could see it was a learning curve for him to try to like figure out how to joke around with them and like be with everybody. It can get really loud with my family, which I'm loud as well, so. But it ended up being really nice, and my mom actually just came to stay for the weekend, this past weekend, so things are kind of moving along nice. We had a lot of fun. We played darts. So like, we were also like learning the dynamic on the cruise, but we also had a lot of fun. So it was his first cruise. He's super excited about them. He already wants to go on another one next year. But it was nice vacationing with him. It was a majorly different experience, as I figured it would be with somebody else. But we just have a lot in common. We read together. We like to do a lot of the same things. We walked on the beach together. Like, a lot of everything we like to do is the same. So we got along really, really well. I was happy about that. So now that we're back, we are trying to eat healthier. It's quite a transition from like when you eat 24/7, especially not that healthy, and then you come back. So we're trying to eat a little healthier. If any of you know me, I worked out a lot before everything kind of got bad. And during my PhD, I worked out during that last year, and I really enjoyed it. So we're starting to go to the gym and work out and kind of get our bearings there. I gotta say, like, I'm not used to a gym. Like, I wouldn't use machines. I never had really to me it almost seems like machine hopping, because I used to have a personal trainer and I used to tailor my workouts to muscle groups, and now like I went in there and I feel like I got like a little bit too sore, and I wasn't doing the right things. So I need to buckle down and like make a routine and sort of figure out like what I'm gonna do there. But overall, it still felt good to like get going again. I've been making like yogurt parfaits in the morning for Jarrett. I have to be careful because if I eat like that, I just disappear. So for me, like when he leaves, I have some eggs and toast but overall, like our dinners are really healthy. I'll show you the cookbook I got. So I went to like Books A Million and Jarrett bought me a cookbook. Skinny Taste One and Done. I think Sue from Legacy Fiber Arts has this. My mom was saying she bought something like this. And honestly, the recipes are just simple and they sound really great. So we're having this tonight. This is like a mustard chicken bake with vegetables. I got the whole grain mustard. It's like a honey mustard chicken bake. So what I like about it is that the recipes call for spices and ingredients that you either already have in your pantry or they're not difficult to find at the store. You ever have that cookbook that calls for like 50 spices and like weird things you can't find, and then it costs like $50 for a dinner? You have spices you're probably never going to use again, and you shopped pretty long to find the weird items. So I'm not like a fan of doing that. So I really liked that this cookbook was like down to earth. It had normal ingredients, normal things you could already find. And then it doesn't say specifics. Sometimes it just lists like your favorite ranch dressing or, you know, that type of thing. And it tells you like a portion of what you would use. So it's a lot of portion controlling and a lot of vegetables, a lot of healthy foods. There's some like vegan recipes in there that are pretty cool. Like where you could forgo meat and it had like carrot rice, cauliflower rice. There's even a healthier option for pizza crust that's made with like yogurt. Instead of adding all that fat to the dough, it's like a thin crust pizza, which is pretty cool. And then it just says top with your favorite toppings. So, you know, it gives you like the leeway to be creative. At the same time, it kind of guides you to be a little healthier, which I think is great. So that's that. So I've gotten into the process of teaching English as a second language. Here is my little backdrop. So you can like write on these with dry erase markers, and I have like a cute little backdrop because it's done virtually. And then I have a bunch of cards and props that I have to use. I'm still going through the certification to do this, but I'm hoping to start this in the next, month or two. So I got little like decks of cards. I have little props, letters. I have a dry erase board I'm gonna use. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing as to supplement the income to keep the business sort of going in the right direction. Like, I think we could keep going this way, but I think it will be helpful if I had a little bit more income to come back on for like groceries or for different things, because I don't know if like I kept going this way, if I could really keep it going this way for another couple months. So I'm gonna do this. Basically, I'll be teaching, because it's primarily from, I think it's primarily from China, like in Beijing and places like that. And so the hours, I think, are going to be more like 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. So I'll be teaching in that window. And then I'll be doing wool and women fibers the rest of the day. And just trying to figure out maybe if I could take a nap in between. I don't know. Trying to figure out how it's going to work. But you can open your schedule as many days as you want or as little days as you want. So I'm going to work out how many days I have to work to make things work financially. And then I just got to do what I got to do. I mean, I knew this was coming, and I knew I was going to have to step up and do more. And honestly, I feel like this would have came, if had I stayed in my marriage, this was coming anyway. There were things done that I didn't know about, and so like the hardship financially was coming. I just had to live it one way or another, and now I'm just gonna have to face it, and that's fine. You know, I've lived through worse with the PhD and feeling like, because basically when you get a PhD, I mean, you're broke the entire time. It's hard to be older, like 25, 30, and still be so dependent, because you're not allowed to go get another job. You're contracted by the school. So at least this way, like, I have some control over what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna proceed. So I'm kind of feeling really positive about it, and I'm excited about it. I haven't taught in a couple years, and I really enjoyed teaching. So I think this might be a really nice way to stay home, which is what's been making me happy. Like, the business has made me happier than I've ever been. So really anything that's going to kind of keep that going is great. And I think the teaching aspect of it at home is going to be fantastic. So I just think it's a great way to continue what I'm already doing, which is working from home and making the business what it can be. So yeah, I think that's about it for like news and stuff. I guess I'll show you what I'm working on. Sorry I didn't get to the knitting sooner. So for some of you, these will be kind of like new, and some of you will have seen them. Excuse me. Excuse me, sorry. So I've been like tearing through my old projects. I do this every now and then because I have a tendency to have to put things down and knit the new colors instead of the old. So this is a colorway called A Wee Bit of Luck from last year. That's Samantha's little Irish potato and a little shamrock on there. And these are just vanilla knit socks. I was doing toe up. You'll see this was that mock micro striping I was talking about. This one will come out sort of like this with those mock micro stripes. So yeah, I was really enjoying it. It has, I don't know if you can see it on camera. There's a slight bit of gold sparkle in there. It is on a gold sparkle base. It's hard to capture on camera. But I've started working on these again. I picked them back up. Maybe you can see the sparkle here. A little. So it only has 5% stellina, the gold stellina. But yeah, I started working on these last March. And then I put them down sheerly because I just had to knit other colors. And then my other main project is my striped sweater, which you've seen a lot of lately. I've gotten, I think, 3 more stripes done. Excuse the chair, sorry. Make sure it doesn't You know what though? I never use these and I keep forgetting. Let's see if I can find them. Okay. Let's use these so they don't slide off. Okay. So I got like 2 more stripes done. It's like getting to the length I want. I think it's gonna come up a little. Yeah, like if I pull it up. So I think what I'm gonna do, so if you see this is a Woolen Winter Picnic and I'm back on that color now at the end. I think I'm going to do the Woolen Berry, Cocoa in the Snow, and the Plaid in the Snow, which will give me 3 more stripes, which will be like right here. And then I'm gonna do the ribbing in this Woolen Winter Picnic color. I mean, ideally I could have like stopped here and did the ribbing, but I just think it's still too short. So I'm gonna go 3 more stripes and then the ribbing, and then I'm gonna start the sleeves. And honestly, the sleeves are just gonna be, I think 3/4 length. If I have enough yarn to do that, I think I will. But it's coming out really nice. I really like it. The other sweater I was working on, the, what is it called? Half Moon Tee. I still have that sleeve to do. It's crazy how I just can't finish it. But I got really into like just straight knitting, and I just wasn't in the mood for color work. And then thank God the business like picked up this past month like immensely compared to the 3 months before where I barely had any business at all. And it honestly, I think like the mass panic was keeping me busier than anything the last 3 months. Like I was busy with a couple orders here and there, but it was nothing in comparison to all of a sudden this February. And you know what it is? It's because we did a show and we got out there. Like when you do shows, you're meeting new people, making new friends, and they get to see all your beautiful stuff. We had planned on doing Knit and Escape. That got canceled for obvious reasons. And then we had a few trunk shows because of COVID that got canceled. And so for like 3 months, we were running solely off of like Instagram, Facebook, India Untangled, and just the website. And it's a slow time to begin with because it's right after the holidays. People are tapped out. Sometimes they'll spend gift cards that they already had. But generally people kind of hold on to their money. So it's already a hard time for business owners in those months, January, February sort of thing, even December, end of December. Because by the end of November and into December, people have bought their Christmas gifts, and then afterwards it just dies. And so those are hard months for small business owners. And it just got harder without having any virtual shows. We went on vacation, which like in hindsight, if I had seen all the financial hardship coming, I would not have done, but you can't cancel for that reason and they don't give you any of your money back. So it was already paid, so we went. And that caused us to miss another show. So VKL had a show during that time and we obviously could not attend. And so it just really hit hard. We had to be patient and wait a couple months, and it was a hard wait. It was like a panicky type of wait, which I assume most small business owners go through every couple months. Like there's always these times where you're like, what if no one ever orders again? What if they don't like my colors? And you got to remember, like it's still art. Like you're still putting out your colors and your feelings and your representation of things onto the fiber. And sometimes people aren't crazy about it, and it's hard. And you gotta like move on or figure out how to remarket, and it can get quite stressful. So everything is a little bit better this month, which is great. And we sold a ton of Hobbiton mini mysteries, which is what I'm gonna do right after this. I'm gonna spin up all the minis for the Hobbiton mini collection. So they're going out, like I said, tomorrow. And Honestly, the hardest part is like spinning them. It'll just be 3 die pots with all those minis in there, or maybe 6 if I have to do double the pans, to get them all done. Because they're really tiny, you can fit a whole lot in one pan. We are launching Crate Joy. So for those of you who buy the gnome, the Mystery Garden Gnome Club every single month, that'll probably be on there. And it's basically a subscription where you can pick 3, 6 months, a year, and your card will get hit a certain day of the month. We're planning on putting up the photo. If you're going to do month to month, you can, or if you're going to do a certain duration, you can cancel at any time, it says. So if we put out the picture for that inspiration for that month on the 1st, you have until the 10th to cancel, that sort of thing. But we're going to do Crate Joy. I think it's going to get us into a whole other band of customers that only do subscription crates or that are looking for new subscriptions. We're also opening like special subscriptions just on Crate Joy. So I'll let you know when they're up and when you can get those, but they should be coming very soon. I've been working on the listings for that and sort of the logistics on the new crates that we want to open up. So keep an eye out for that. I think that's it. Hopefully I'll have picked a pattern, or if you know of a pattern, let me know. I want to do something light and bright alongside my stripes here. And I'm just going to spin some minis. So I hope everybody's doing well. Again, welcome everybody that's new. I'm going to take a poll for the knit night at the end of this week. So keep an eye out for that. This one will probably be closer to mid-month instead of the beginning like we've been kind of doing. Well, we've been doing like the beginning, 12th, something like that. I don't know, but it'll be probably closer to the middle. The reason I did that was because we had a show and we often get new patrons on shows. We are almost at 40 patrons. We have 39 patrons, which is amazing. I never even pictured when I started it. What did I start it, like 2 years ago, was it? Same time as the business, really. So yeah, like almost 2 years. I never imagined that I was gonna have 40 patrons right now. It's amazing. So, and I'm so excited that I got to meet so many wonderful people. Like some of you I don't hear from as often, and that doesn't make it any less special because I see your Instagrams and I feel like I still know you because I'm constantly like watching your feed. I still put stuff out there and I see what you like, but some of you that are super active, we become like best friends and family, so thank you. And thank you to everybody who supports. Honestly, I just don't know how I'd get through emotionally, financially, or anything without it. Honestly, like this is like a diary for me. Like I feel like a lot of it comes out on these videos, and it gives me a chance to work through my own creativity. And then like I need a sweater recommendation. I know some of you are going to come up with some beautiful ideas for that. So it's just nice to have community and to meet people from all over the world. It's like fantastic. So thank you, and I hope you have a great week of making. I'm going to stalk all your Instagrams and see what you're making and maybe put that in the next making update so everybody can kind of see what everybody's working on. Okay, have a great week. Bye.